Let's start.
Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat. Tonight on this beautiful Tuesday. Is today the 20th or the 19th? I think the 19th, right? The 18th. Okay. I'm trying to speed up the month, for the 7th. So they can, in fact, this time the month doesn't end and they get paid. So let me commend the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the minister and his team. They're doing well for civil service. But this thing that this guy told us and told the public the other day, see as his boss, Joe Kai, when he said that civil servants will be getting paid twice a month. We haven't seen that coming to fruition. What's happening? Well, we'll try to look into that one day. But welcome to the program tonight on the on Pram FM, Pram FM 105.5. In fact, we are also streaming live on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5. You can watch the show online on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5. Also, you can watch the show online on our YouTube and our Facebook page, the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. You can watch the show. That is just tap Nighttime Heat. As soon as you tap that, you're going to watch the show online and enjoy the show as well. Tonight promises to be very interesting. Let me just bring you up to speed with what we'll be talking about. Since yesterday, the managing director of the National Port Authority has been in the news, on mainstream media, social media. But we want to look at the truism. Is there, any truth in what people are talking about the managing director of the National Port Authority? Is that report that came from Washington or that came from the USA? Is that report really factual? Or is it something concordant? We're going to talk about that tonight on the program as well. The multiple questions continue to be asked about the government's commitment in handling the drugs investigation. In fact, Amara Corner and the rest of them are calling for independent probe. They think that, with the police involvement and some police officers being picked up, they feel that the investigation it's not balanced. It's not proceeding well, and so the one people of independent mind to sit on an investigation to look into the drugs issue. So we'll talk about that tonight as well. The debate about the FOIA project is still continuing. Gonglo, Tiawon Gonglo, a Liberian lawyer and an esteemed lawyer, has come up. He said, well, this time around, he's not just talking about why the project, why the construction, but he wants to know where did the funding come from. Gonglo is asking that question. Also, the president recently intervened, in the crisis at the University of Liberia to reopen the university. But it seems that intervention still hangs in the balance. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. And then, former Montserrado County Senator Grace Kpan has taken a swap at former Liberian President George Manneh Weah. We're going to play that video. It's Grace Kpan, the right messenger to critique Weah's performance. What is it that she's up to? Is she seeking some recognition or attention by the broadcast administration? We're going to look at that tonight as well on the program. Let me welcome David Benedictus Rasmus Nambwe quickly. Dave, welcome.
Somebody, it's always good to be here. I'd like to say good evening to everyone listening to us and viewing us on this edition of the Nighttime Heat. I'd like to say hi to our technical team headed by AB or Abraham. So Sabo, it's good to be here.
Thank you, Dave, and I really appreciate you being here all the night. Thank you. Let me welcome Pascal quickly. Pascal Davis. Pascal, welcome to the program. Miss Davis, welcome. Okay, it seems Pascal is not getting us. Let me welcome Moses quickly. Moses, you welcome to the program.
Thank you. There's people in the back.
Kindly bring Moses on. Moses, we're not getting you clear. It seems like you have to go and come back on.
Really? Okay.
Pascal, are you there? Let's hear you.
Yes. Okay, Papa.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the show. Thanks for the introduction, and we'll follow all of the talking points. It's a pleasure being here tonight, and we hope, as usual, we'll have a fruitful discussion. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pascal. We really appreciate you being on the program as well. Moses is coming back. I'm sure we'll shortly also receive one of our newest panelists on the program to talk about one of our newest diaspora panelists on the program. Now, gentlemen, basically, we've got a couple of things to talk about, and I want us to get to that quickly. Let me pull out what I have. Amara Corning and Police RG has been exchanging. They've been exchanging some word of words relative to the issue, relative to the ongoing drugs investigation. And let me pull out what I see on the LNP bus, and also read, and I'll also pull out what Amara Corner wrote as well. LNP Inspector General Gregory Coleman tells Senator Corner others to be responsible and come out to provide the pieces of evidence they have rather than just talking. So let me read this. Inspector General Coleman also noted that integrity requires courage to produce facts, not merely suspicions. According to the police RG, serious accusations made without supporting facts can prejudice investigations, damage innocent people, and ultimately help criminal networks. The police inspector general statement is in reaction to public speculations, especially by Senator Amara Corning, that top security personnel are part of the drug cartel in Liberia. Coleman believes the claims from Senator Corning carry greater weight and a corresponding responsibility. If he possesses credible information, he should place it before the appropriate authorities so that it can be tested, investigated, and, where justified, prosecuted, he added. That the police RG. The police RG noted that the ongoing drug case is a matter of public service ethics, adding that duty requires officials to report wrongdoing. He said good judgment requires public figures to consider whether public disclosures could alert suspects, compromise witnesses, expose sources, or disrupt an active investigation. Okay, so let me pull out also what Amara Corner wrote in reaction to the police RG. Senator Amara Corner writes, I've read the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police response and another security chief's comments, which attempt to deflect from the core issue are raised in the danger of silence in the cocaine investigation, which I posted yesterday. Let me be clear, this is not political gossip. It is about our republic's survival in the face of two converging national security threats. A, the penetration of multi-million-dollar drug cartels deep into Liberia, and B, the erosion of territorial integrity along our northern border. Together, they endanger our youth, our sovereignty, and the state's stability. Whenever major narcotics operations are uncovered in our country, a troubling and cowardly pattern emerges. Juror officers, the foot soldiers, are swiftly punished, scapegoated, or thrown under the bus without due process, and our courts ruled in the cartel's favor. No one is penalized by our system when we have one, given the stringent drug laws in West Africa. Meanwhile, suspended and dismissed senior leaders remain comfortably at home, shielded from scrutiny by their bosses in an air-conditioned offices and allowed to maintain a business as usual. Not a single one of them has faced a judge. This imbalance undermines public confidence and raises legitimate questions about institutional integrity. No security institution can credibly investigate allegations involving its own leadership or inner circle. Such cases require independent, transparent oversight. This is not optional. Okay. So, gentlemen, I can read all of what Amara wrote. Sam, okay, let me welcome Sam as well. Sam, welcome to the program.
Oh, I'm happy. And I said thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Okay, the full name.
Samuel B. Jacobs.
Okay, Mr. Sam B. Jacobs. Okay. Now, so we are about tonight to talk about, as part of our discussions, the exchanges between Senator Amara Conor Bapuru County and the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police. Now you listen to the two arguments. David, as usual, let me begin with you, your takeaway.
And now, why are you always beginning with me?
David, go right ahead. We don't have much time.
No, but that doesn't mean that I can actually.
Okay, so let me go. Let me go. Apparently, you don't have answers to the question.
I still hold my ground.
Okay.
I still take my chance to come down. Look, for example, did you listen to? I guess it's you who read the statement from the Inspector General of Liberia National Police. And what Amara Conor had earlier written. Look, what I see is a showmanship. And I've repeatedly said that this thing about is about people want to make hero of themselves. Want to use this drug or cocaine crisis to make hero of themselves. And that's absolutely wrong. Amara Conor, as a member of the Liberian Senate, should be the one aiding or helping the government. I mean, helping the government to succeed in, sorry, there's sorry. Okay, so Amara Conor is a member of the Liberian Senate. He should be helping then undermining the ongoing investigation. Almost like just wanting to make yourself popular, politically popular. And that's all about it.
Come here. You made a statement that I don't want you to just,
Yeah, go ahead.
What is in what Amara read that resembles what you call undermining the investigation?
The first thing, Sabo, is that people who, evidence have been provided, that they are linked to the cocaine or to the link to the cartels. Some pieces of evidence have so far been presented. And so they are the ones that have been investigated, those who are accused and, with the accusation being accompanied by some little proof have been investigated. So Amara Conor should not be undermining the investigation on the basis of wanting to make yourself politically popular. And that's my point. You know.
Now,
so
now
people the police,
comrade,
wait now. Let me come. Let me learn.
Okay.
On this one, and this is not a matter of people just making wild allegations against other people. It cannot even adduce any shred of evidence. They can produce it. So should the government or the justice ministry or the police should just be driving or running around the place, arresting people because their critics or opponents say they have a link to the cocaine? Is that what you're saying? No. If you're making these wild allegations, they should be accompanied by evidence or should be substantiated that the person is actually linked. It's not a matter of just...
Let me bring you up to speed with this line in what Amara wrote.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, suspended and dismissed senior leaders remain comfortably at home, shielded from scrutiny by their bosses in air-conditioned offices and allowed to maintain business as usual. Not a single one of them has faced a judge.
So it's
are you aware?
It's
coming now, comrade. Yeah. Are you aware of what Amara saying? Don't you see any truism in it?
No. Sabo, if you talk about truism, the word truism, by definition means that it's something that is obviously true, and doesn't need proof. That's something that's obvious.
Do you see truism what Amara saying or not?
No. I don't see any because Amara Conan, as a senator, if he's making some allegations, thinking that people, high-profile people have been shot.
You are a practicing journalist.
No. Provided any shred of evidence to substantiate your claims, and you're asking or want the Liberian people to take that serious? No, Saba.
Okay, number two, comrade. Number two.
Yeah.
What Amara, you say you don't want the Liberian people to take it serious, but listen to another one Amara wrote. Serious allegations already in the public domain demand clear answers. A senior officer admitted to receiving money from individuals linked to the cartels to provide comfort after an arrest, which the IG has admitted. Another officer, the officer in charge at the Drug Enforcement Agency, is alleged to have received a vehicle from cartel actions. The chief of highway patrol used a police vehicle to escort the drugs, according to public sources. He had instructions from above. In the chain of command, let them all go to court to answer questions about their roles in enabling the cartel. These claims did not originate from politicians. They came from within the security services. Is it lying?
No, Saba.
No, I'm
Saba. It is
No, what Amara just written. Don't you see?
Saba, you're not going to manipulate.
You didn't hear about this again?
Saba, you're not going to manipulate me on this issue of the issue that Amara has written. The first thing is that, look, Amara's argument is because there are people. Look, the elements in the police who it has been proven that they have some link and they've been supposed to go to court. They've been investigated.
Have they gone to court?
There's some
coming out.
The fact that they haven't.
You are running the public agenda.
No, Saba.
When last the two send your reporter to the court to cover a story of anyone linked to the drug in court?
This is an attempt to deviate from the main argument here, Saba. This is an attempt.
I'm just asking you, Dave.
No, you don't ask me, Saba. The first thing is that, look, the police director has said that if you are saying, even the ordinary Liberians who are saying that, because politicians and critics are saying that, and high-profile officials of the government have been shielded. So provide evidence. If
Okay.
you know that you are a senator,
Okay, let me hold you there.
carry it before
Let me hold you there,
your
Dave.
fellow senators
Let me hold you there.
and say, these are the people who eventually lead it.
It seems that your conclusion about what Senator Connors wrote are all fallacies. That's your conclusion, right?
They're not substantiated.
Although you haven't gone to the court or sent a reporter there, you run the public report
You know,
to cover one of the cartel, one of those linked to the cartel to appear before
you
court.
continue to
You can
make-
say that today. You
Saba.
can say that to me, right?
No, Saba.
Okay, let me
Saba,
hold you.
you're not going
Let me hold you.
to. You're not going to win the other
No,
debate,
let me hold you.
Saba.
Let me hold you. No, we are not debating. I'm just asking a question.
no.
Question that you cannot answer.
The questions are
Question
far
you
away
continue.
from
No,
what we're
you
discussing
can't
here.
answer the question.
No, Saba.
Okay, let me go to Moses. Moses, let's hear your take on what you read concerning the RG's read up and that of Amra Kone.
Can you hear me? Can you guys get me?
Yes, go ahead, Moses.
Okay. First of all, I would like to begin by pushing back on the claims made by Mr. David Target. He said everything is that is done with the government say, show monster. He said, Conan is undermining the investigation.
Go ahead.
Moses?
Or go off and come back. He's on, right? Okay.
You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, right on Prom FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap a Nighttime Heat.
Yeah,
The show.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So you said that others are the police, other danger, and that are making. So let's take it one at a time. He says showmanship. Amara Kone and the director of police, who is demonstrating showmanship? The graduate home, the director of police, the chief administrator of police, the chief investigator, when he said there are senior people in the Nigerian government that are linked to the current drug probe in the country, has he been able to name any of them? When he accused the media of complicity, which is indeed a felony, aiding and abetting, has kind of come of most of our courage to name one journalist? Don't you see hypocrisy here? He comes up with allegations. He speaks loosely. And we have a journalist speaking about American and showing showmanship.
It seems Moses' internet is giving him problem. Okay. It seems Moses is not he's stored there. Let's hear you. When he comes out, we can continue with him. Is he up? Okay, he's gone off. Let's hear you, Mr. Pascal Davis.
Are you getting me now?
Yes, go ahead. Quickly, let's hear you.
So thank you, Sobot. Like I've always said, we have to be honest and put our breath first in all that we do and see. Again, sometimes there are many people with short memories, and we have to remind them. The last time I checked, before Patrick Kumuzu was appointed as the LDA boss or the officer in charge, there was somebody who headed that institution. And he went before the Ministry of Information regular press briefing I mean, David is my good friend and a journalist who have also been able to do his own fast finding and check. The man in prison, Sobor, is on record of informing all of us in the country, in the world, that yes, indeed, there are people in the executive, in the legislature, in the judiciary, who are beyond the imposition of justice in Liberia. He said that. He did say that. Before the discovery of 19 million and
remind me, who is he who's
no, I just spoke English. I said the last, I may not get his name, but the last person who said
that. Well, I'm asking you.
No, I'm in speech, and you have to respect us, please. David,
go ahead quickly.
No, someone don't do that. So let me learn, please. Right now, the police IG, who is in the center of security, who manages the affairs of our country security-wise, talked to a national platform and told us in Liberia and the world that are senior officers, senior officials in government, he said, at top level, he said, people in highest up. So, what is your own definition of people being higher ups in government? He said, even in the legislature, in the judiciary, wherever. He said, people are there, and they are the one behind the imposition of drugs. That statement was made before Amara Kone's statement. I want to ask David, have we been able to ask the police RG to give us name? Besides that, he accused the media that stood up for Liberia in the midst of the drugs crisis. He accused the media, including you, David Tagbe, that you guys are members and parts of the cartel that took money to danger the lives of many Liberians. Have you ever wondered the question, Gregory, as to who are those in the media that are siding with the cartel? Have you done that? Why are we not honest? Why are you so angry with Amara simply because you claim Amara is very vocal on the government? Of course, there are three main cardinal responsibilities of a lawmaker. The other day you told Yeke because he said he spoke loosely. The other day you told Sheikh Kuyate of the government because he said he spoke loosely. But Amara is saying, I am an electoral official of the country. Yes, a member of the government, but we have to speak. The last night, before I close, we have the RG before the Senate. The RG was at the Senate, in the chambers of the Senate. What did he say to one of the senators? He said he was speaking loosely. I don't know whether David followed that. He said that to one of the senators. He said that to Samuel Koga. Even Samuel Koga is asking that Gregory Como be suspended or dismissed if we must have an impartial investigation in the just case. And where is David coming from? Why are we not honest in Liberia? Why are we not to our country? Why do we want to sell?
So let's read that, Mr. Pascal Davis. Let's read it and hear from Mr. Sam Jacob, one of our newest panelists. You listened to what I read, concerning Senator Amara Conan of Bapolu County and the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police trading, arguments concerning the ongoing drugs investigation. Amara is insisting that there are some police officers and individuals who were arrested. They are yet to be taken to court. They are still home. They are comfortably seated at home. But the police actually said that Amara and others who are raising these sort of concerns, they need to be responsible. They need to provide evidence of others who are linked to the cartel, and not just to speak loosely that like they are speaking. Let's hear your take on that, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, well, so thank you for giving me the opportunity again. And I said thank you to all my brothers here. Now, firstly, let me say this, make it very, very importantly clear. If anyone stay here and say we should not take Amara Conan's message very important, that person is joking. I'm a student of law, coming from a legal background. I would say to you clearly, just to you partly, all of our research from as a legal person, I would say when the person is close to the system, that person also has something called law first-hand information. If you think the man who works in the government, who's campaigning for this government, who made friends with the people in the government, words cannot be taken in account for, I mean, you're joking. So when people say, I might want to have show, I say, nobody will know who to take serious. If you want to listen to man's statement and listen to the young man who called it in-studio statement and listen to journalist statement, but then forgetting the man who also worked in line with the system, in law called it first-hand. The first-hand person, the person who closed the doors who committed the crime. If they make campaign with them working in the system, with them bringing news from the people, we have to take them very serious. Believe me, that's a first-hand information. In our legal investigations, we also look at first-hand information of people who close to the crime. So our information can never be taken for joke. So there's the reason we have, there's a problem we have in this country. We should be analyzing our statement from a legal point of view and from a patriotic point of view, then looking at it from a political point of view.
Okay, let me hold it. Let me hold you there, Mr. Jackson, and read excerpts from what the police RG wrote. Whether the police RG is now right to say this or he's right, and then let me read this. Gregory Coleman tells Senator Cornyn others to be responsible and come out to provide the pieces of evidence they have rather than just talking. RG Coleman also noted that integrity requires courage to produce facts, not merely suspicions. According to the police RG, serious accusations made without supporting facts can prejudice investigations, damage innocent people, and ultimately help criminal networks. The police inspector general statement is in now. It's in reaction to what Amra said. Now, don't you see any sort of basis to what the police RG is the argument he's making? Because according to him, well, it's simple to come up with allegations like Amra and others are doing, but the facts must be also produced so as to give the arguments that they are raising, to give their arguments some level of validity.
But there's a point though. The RG statement is coming from a different point of view. It may be coming from a job protective point of view, right? Where he wants for Amara to just go directly to his own point. But there's a major point, right? When people making any kind of statement within the system, I agree. They need to come with evidence. There's no court of law going to go with evidence. But let's get this clear. We can also, that's why it can be investigative journalist, whether it can be a police director. Everybody's statement. There's a reason why we make a statement in court. Every statement should be used against in the court of law. That is, every statement needs to be investigated. So when I'm not making this statement, a person who really understands investigation can actually look at Arama's statement and be able to draw a conclusion. So I would say from two forces, he right to ask Amar to provide evidence, but believe me, Amar may know the circle, but Amar not know the main points that one should look at. Amar understand the circle of those in the drugs cartel. He understands the circle, but if possible, he's not getting the main points. So for Amar explanations, we can focus on the main points. So let us know that Amar is discussing the circle of the drugs cartel, the circle.
You know, I'm disappointed in this gentleman who says he's a lawyer.
One minute. He's telling his speech.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Can you just show the guy some respect,
man? Sorry, Moses.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take the claim. I'm a legal graduate. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not practicing. So I got graduate a law degree. So this one, so yeah, you're right though. But I'm saying we agree that evidence should be used. But I can say from people's statement who close to the circle, and I read it again. And don't forget, those who close to the circle have first-hand information. So let us use people like Amara to be able to get to the main points. That's our focus. But where's the fear that's all about here? If Amara making a statement and everybody believe everyone the government is clean, what do we have to panic about? What do we have to panic about? Because we understand 100% everyone claims. And we said this issue from day one. We said we know who started controlling drugs from 1997, from 2005 to 2011, and the same group controlling drugs in 2006. Because we knew how drugs crossed the country, we saw it there from 1989. And then it pushed on in 1997. And then 2005, they opened the gateway. And the people wanted to protect the gateway in 2017. They couldn't protect the gateway. The gateway opened again in 2005 and 2006. We have to understand how the patriot, how it went through. Yes, sorry, you can pick up from there.
Okay. Now, before I go to Dave, I'll come to you. But before I go to Moses back, Moses, I'm coming. Moses, I'm coming. Before I come to you, Dave. Let me go to Moses on this latest information that we just received. Moses, I'm sure you might have heard about an invite from the police authorities to Amara Corner. But let me read what I have quickly, Moses, and then I come to you. What are we trying to skew? What are we trying to deepen this, or go contrary to what we should be doing as investigators, than inviting politicians who are big. But let me read this quickly, Moses, and then I come to you. There's a communication from the office of the AG. August 17, 2026. Honorable Amara M. Corner, Senator Bapulu Kane, Liberian Senate, Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia. Subject: requests for evidence supporting public allegations concerning the ongoing cocaine investigation. Dear Senator Corner, the Joint National Security Investigative Team acknowledges your right as a citizen and a member of the Liberian Senate to criticize the conduct of public institutions and exercise legislative oversight. That right, however, carries a heightened duty of accuracy, responsibility, and fidelity to the public interest, particularly when addressing an active transnational narcotics investigations involving national security, organized criminal networks, and potential international cooperation. Now, your public statement titled "The Danger of Silence in the Cocaine Investigation" contains several grave allegations. You assert or strongly imply that senior security officials are being protected from criminal accountability. Junior officers are being deliberately scapegoated. Liberia security institutions are compromised. Government officials are supervising investigations involving institutions in which they may themselves be implicated. The justice system is being selectively applied, and the government is protecting a cartel network. These allegations go far beyond political criticism. They suggest knowledge of criminal complicity, obstruction of justice, abuse of authority, and the protection of transnational drug trafficking organization. Because these claims were made by a certain senator, the public may reasonably believe that they are based on privileged information, official briefings, witness accounts, or documentary evidence available to you by virtue of your office. Accordingly, you are hereby formally requested to submit all evidence and information in your possession that support these allegations, including.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, gentlemen, this is a communication including the names and positions of the senior officials you believe are compromised or being protected. Your evidence also should include the identities of the alleged true architects of the narcotics operations. Okay, so gentlemen, the police has asked Amara now. This whole drug thing has taken a different dimension. Senator Amara Conan and Senator Edwin Snow and others have been on the back of our investigators and been claiming that individuals were arrested were not being taken to court or have not been taken to court, rather some have been home, and the individuals who been shielding them. So as a result of that, the police now has put itself on record, inviting Senator Conan. Moses, let's hear from you. Are we deepening this investigation? Moses, what's your reading?
Look, Soba, that is absolutely laughable. What Gregory Comer has just demonstrated is a high degree of hypocrisy. And you can quote me on this. Comer is a hypocrite. In law, that's what they call he who comes to equity must come with what? Clean hands. The same Gregory Comer that is asking Connor and the others to come with evidence. It was the same Connor in less than a month ago that most of the courage was speaking at the Ministry of Information that said journalists are compromised. They have been bribed by cartels to change the narrative of the probe. Has Gregory Comer named one journalist? Has he named any media institution? What is Gregory Comer talking about? Greg is not an ordinary person in the police. He's the chief administrator. Do you know what it means when the director of police says somebody is complicit? First-degree felony? And he can't name nobody? And this guy is running around selectively, talking about Conan must produce evidence. Isn't that hypocrisy at the highest level? Isn't that showmanship? What is Gregory talking about? It's the same Gregory Comer who told Liberians that the police has evidence that senior people in government, in the Liberian government, are complicit in the drug bars. Has Gregory Comer named any of those people? This guy is the what? Chief administrator of police. It means that he's somebody that should not be talking what? Loosely.
Okay.
What Greg is doing, let me just complete, Soba. What Greg is doing, this is what we call selective justice. The guy is literally cherry picking. Oh, he will make a statement, he shoe himself. Gregory Comer lacks that moral rectitude to point finger at anybody because he himself, he's compromised. Gregory Comer is compromised.
Let's hold it there, Moses. Let's hold it there. From Moses' presentation, Dave, it gives one the understanding that this communication from the police authorities to the senator appears as one to make the senator frightened, because apparently the senator has been on the back of the investigators, and so now Gregory and his team at the police headquarters are inviting Conan to appear to bring all of the evidence that he has. But contrary to that, or in the face of that, Mr. Gregory Comer once said, and I just asked my producer to pull out that recording, that there are senior officials in government that may be linked. Besides, he also indicated that media institutions, some have received the bribe, but he didn't call the name. He didn't provide evidence. Dave, let's hear you.
Well, the first thing I'd like to start from the lawyer, our newest lawyer on the block. What's the name? He's in the
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson, who said that because Amara Connor is in the cycle, so
Yeah,
whatever he said.
Samuel Jacob, brother.
Samuel Jacob. Sorry. His argument that the fact that Amara Connor is in the inner cycle of the Unity Party or the government, whatever he says is true. No, I disagree with that. And with all due respect, Mr. Lawyer. Look, in fact, he talked about the legal, the application of our legal system. The first thing is that Amara Conan has made allegations that he hasn't proven. If you say there are government or senior officials of government that are being shielded, they're asking you to provide the evidence. Similarly, Police IG Gregory Coleman has made also wild allegations even against the media and other senior officials. He also has the burden of proof for him. So, Amara Conan is challenged to provide proof. Gregory Coleman, as Inspector General of the Liberian National Police, is also challenged to provide proof that.
So do you think now? Do you think this latest invite from Akami? Do you think this latest invite from the LNP is it justified?
What latest information now?
The latest invite. We just read it.
Okay.
The invitation to Amara Conan to go and provide evidence.
Yeah.
Is it justified?
Well,
when the police IG himself.
That's how the police deems it. That it's necessary that Amara appears. So Amara is going to appear and provide whatever explanations you have, whatever the.
So let's assume now. Let's assume Amara has been invited by the police, to appear to provide all the evidence that he has. Let's assume in similar vein, Amara and his colleagues are descended. They decide to invite the police inspector general. Mr. Inspector General, this is what you said, and you are on tape. Can you give us the names of senior officials in this government? One minute. And they decided to invite the police IG. And police IG said, well, for the sake of our investigation, I cannot give any identities. And then the Senate wakes up and said, well, Mr. President, we don't have any.
One minute,
Dave.
You've been
hypothetical. That's hypothetical. This is what's going to happen eventually.
No, that's your assumption.
This is what's going to happen eventually. That's your assumption. Let me read that and go to. That's your assumption. It's not a fact. Let me read that and go to Mr. Mr. Pascal Davis. Mr. Pascal Davis, you listen to the invite that I read from the police authorities. Your input. Mr. Davis?
Oh, is it okay? Are you
guys
guys
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So let me say
what you want here. You want to put on somebody to say what you want here.
1 minute.
That's unfair.
Dave, 1 minute. No, but
that's absolutely unfair.
David, 1 minute.
That's unfair.
I didn't cut you off because I want to hear what I want to hear. No. I asked the question and you try wavering.
No,
you want to answer the question.
No,
I'll come back to you.
That's unfortunate.
Let me go to
absolutely.
Please, let's hear.
So Sobo, let me say how to Big Brother Samuel Jacob first. So Moses said something. He said, "He who preaches equity must come within him." And I mean, you asked a very critical question, and somebody is refusing to answer. So the man who should also be providing evidence or evidences, facts, is also inviting somebody who similarly supposed to be providing evidence of fact. I mean, come to think about it rationally. Let's think about it. So, David said, yes, it is true. Police RG supposed to be adducing evidence, providing evidence. He's supposed to account for these different statements he made. But on the other side, Amara Kone, who was a senator elected by the people, supposed to go to RG to answer question on similar count. I mean, come to think about it. So I told you, yeah, this country is at the crossroads. But let me say something, Sobo. Amara in this well, I said something which you didn't capture. You intended talking about it. He said all of the people who have been arrested, whatever, dismissed, suspended, and everything. Not one single person have ever gone to the court, which is very true. Moses Jala was my student, actually 5 years ago. He was also dismissed from the LDA. Padre Kumuzu from the police, again with the LDA. It's Biago, the latest. I want to ask Moses and David Tagbe, of all these names that have called the guy from NSA, have any of these individuals named yet that will appear to the court? I'm asking you, David, and have they gone to the court?
And let me just tell you, Pascal, let me come in quickly. Absolutely not. And that just point to the fact that Amara Kone is saying the truth. Senator Snow is saying the truth. I mean, tell me, the man, the officer in charge, accused of receiving an expensive gift from the drug cartel, and they tell this man to step aside on the basis of what ethical transgression. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
But you can't prosecute the man for receiving a vehicle from a cartel. I mean, where's the lawyer? I'm not a lawyer.
Okay,
But you are doing criminal investigation.
let me wait there, Moses. Yeah, Tabo, you can come in quickly. We'll start the transition.
I'm tired of listening to the kind of baseless argument. The first thing is that these are people who've been charged and are undergoing investigation. If they're found guilty, they will go to jail. But if you have people say, they don't find any substance in an investigation because they're politicians who are blindfolding the people, it's going to be that they know more than what the investigators are doing. The first thing, the people that are investigating, fairly investigating, all those who are involved, all those who have been suspected of having linked to the cartels, it has been proven.
Dave, I asked you the question.
What's the question?
Let me ask you the question again. Dave, I'm asking you whether the invite from the Liberia National Police to Senator Amara Kone, whether that invite is justified in the face of the police RG saying that they are senior government officials we believe are linked. In addition, he also said there are media people who have received money from cartel, trying to sway and undermine the investigation, yet he did not provide the evidence. He's now asking Amara to provide the evidence. Is his invite to Amara justified, David?
Yeah,
I want to hear from you.
And as far as the police concerned, the invite is necessary.
No, as far as you concerned. No. As far as you concerned, I'm asking you. I'm asking you, David, on the show.
The police has an issue with Amara Kone. The police will come and explain. So there's nothing wrong with that. If Amara Kone hasn't answered his own questions, who has the authority to ask Amara Kone to come and stand to prove his case? And this is why the President of Liberia, the action the President of Liberia is about to take, about taking Amara Kone, or not Amara Kone, but Gregory Coleman to court to prove his allegation against the media.
Okay.
So I mean, the police say come and talk to us. Whoever thinks that Amara Kone and police Gregory Coleman has accused them of providing any justification, let the person take the appropriate action.
Okay, thank you. So tomorrow, Dave, if the Liberian Senate invited the police RG to come forth with the names of senior officials who are linked to the cartel, and to provide evidence of journalists receiving monies to sway and undermine the investigation. Wouldn't that being seen by some of you as an abuse of
that's
power?
it's unfortunate that you have to say
I'm asking
some of-
you,
know
David.
what- No, what I'm saying
Because
Saba-
tomorrow I'm sure you'll be critical of the Senate's position.
No, Saba.
Mhm.
It's unfortunate that you have to say some of you. And I think that was a slip of
Okay,
tongue. I think that-
wouldn't you see it as an abuse of power by the Senate?
No, it will not be the first time.
Because it's
Senate-
possible that the Senate will invite the IG.
But if the Senate invites the IG,
Mhm.
the IG, in my view, would turn out. There's so many invitations the IG received from the Senate and they show up. So why not this one?
Okay, let me
so,
hold you.
so he would not be challenged to provide his evidence. Similarly, he asking AmeriCorps to come and explain or provide his evidence. So if the Senate calls him, there will be nothing wrong with that.
All right. Now, Moses, let's go around the table once again and we'll try to transition. Now, Moses, AmeriCorps or Senator AmeriCorps and Edwin Snow and the rest of individuals have been speaking very, critically about the ongoing investigation. Now an invite has come from the police for Amara to go and provide evidence for all what you've said or you've been writing on social media. Moses, do you see this as an attempt by the LNP to begin frightening or fearing individuals who want to make comments on the ongoing drugs investigation?
Absolutely. There is a strategy by Gregory Cuomo and the others to intimidate. If Greg could muster the courage to invite a sitting senator to say, hey, come and adduce evidence, that is meant to say, hey, we intend to what? Silence critical voices in this country. That's the strategy. And this is where Gregory Cuomo needs to ask himself, does he have that moral standing? Why he asking this man the crime that he has accused the senator of? He committed the same crime. Isn't this selective justice, gentlemen? This is intended to silence critical voices. People like us, for us to be intimidated. Oh, my man, when he say anything, Gregory Cuomo will come for you. Oh, the Ministry of Justice will invite you. I mean, everything Conan Snow talk about. Biago. Is Biago being prosecuted? Patrick Doe that was dismissed. Is he being prosecuted? Is it true that Patrick is sitting at home? The other top officer from the police, are they being prosecuted? The AmeriCorps lie on that? I
Okay.
mean, come on, man. That is
Okay,
selective justice.
Let me hold you there. Mr. Sam Jacob, do you see this also, this invite as an intimidation tactic?
I mean, legally, I may say he's right. I mean, you can ask a person want to make some allegations to come on board and provide more information because you need detailing, and that could be necessary. And but politically, one would say no, because it's somehow. So if we look at from both sides of view, yeah, one would say all depend the channel he followed. But this session made on social media, not issue made in the parliament. So if you understand like broader jurisdiction, that would be a different issue. Now, but politically, yes, I would say that could fear tactic. Because I believe the people like Amara Snow made these kind of statements. Their statement should just be used. I say it again, the statement should be used to help amplify the process. That is, to be able to use the statement and be able to do more investigations. But I understand where my brother Moses is coming from. The issue is those who speak equities will come with clients. So Moses' issue is the police AG got no moral standing to even cooperate for investigation, because even people giving him the rightful information, if possible, it cannot be trusted again. So yes, I agree. I agree that people could give it and cannot be trusted. So yes, calling them, it could be good. You can call the person, you can call the person. But I can say this is a political scare tactic. Because if you just do the Amara, what can we say? Should we be called to for investigations? So I think what we're looking at generally is he as an RG, he processed political intimidations, and he doesn't have the moral grounds to even start the process.
Okay. All right. Let's hear from you, Mr. Pascal Davis. How do you see this invite from the police to Amara?
Well, the police RG has always been political. I mean, all of these actions and dealing, I could take you far back to the Capitol building stuff with Presidio Coco and just everybody for nothing. We saw the police ganking up and beating lawmakers, and denying them for going for what they did, and all of that. I mean, but this is the question we're asking. I mean, we said this, I mean, numerous of times, and Moses kept saying it. I mean, who is preaching equity? Who is speaking? Who is inviting somebody? And on what basis? Because somebody said they are behance, they are continuing support, the government's compromise. Of course. Are you going to arrest the entire country? Because I'm also on this platform saying that yes, there are senior officials in the government who are behind the drugs. I know them. We know some of them. Because their actions tell us all. There are evidence to show that yes, there are people in government behind the job. I just told you, the guy before Biako said that at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. The evidence that also have is that Gregory is on record of saying that to us as Liberians. I mean, are they not so sufficient to say these are the evidences? Are you inviting Amara Kone to who? To Gregory? To answer to Gregory Como? Who should similarly be funded for similar acts? But we're asking something. I'm saying, I can't conclude. Let me conclude, Sabo, in 30 seconds.
Yes, go ahead.
All of us want to see our country being free of justice. We want an impartial investigation. And for us to get that investigation, the police RG needs to step aside. And that's what we want the government, the president to do. That's what we need to do. When he do that, I think Amara going to abuse himself.
Okay, thank you. Dave, how do you see the invite from the LMP to Senator Amara Kone?
The Liberian National Police or authorities of the Liberian National Police, I mean, they have the authority to invite an official of government, you know, when it is necessary. So inviting Amara Kone, as I heard the other colleagues say, I mean, it's about intimidating Amara Kone and others who speak out. And the impression being created here is that as if the government is unserious about an investigation and is playing some tricks or is misleading the Liberian people that are investigating the cocaine stuff when in fact it is not. You know, that's the impression people are. When was the last time you heard someone? When was the last time you heard Edwin Snow or Amara Kone giving some pieces of advice to the government to succeed in the fight against drugs? All what we hear is about negativity, about their wishes to see the government fail in the fight against drugs. You know, so they're just talking. This is a media showman. This is a media showman. People want to be politically popular, and you don't see anything possible about investigating. All individuals, some individuals, including senior security officials, are now undergoing investigation. Somebody said because the fact that the government hasn't taken them to court, that means that the government is being biased and is shielding them. The fact that you want them to be taken to court now and they haven't been taken to court, that means that the government doesn't care about that and the government is letting them go free. That's totally business.
Okay, so finally, Dave, on the issue of the RG statement accuses some media institutions, which they didn't call name. The aspect of the RG statement, there were senior officials in government who are believed to be linked, and he didn't call name. Now he wants for Amara to appear and bring his evidence. Where are we on all of this?
Sabo, look, this is the thing, Sabo. Okay, I was at the press union recent meeting, membership meeting, you know, following the statement by, you know, Gregory accusing the media of having linked to cocaine. And the president in Liberia is not taking it right. So the president of Liberia is planning an action. What is a legal action or whatever action the president is considering that? So that means that the president will take action against Gregory, whether in court or outside court. But the president of Liberia, to some extent, Gregory has to face some consequences if he cannot prove his allegation. Now, you're talking about Gregory's statement, right?
Mhm.
Gregory's statement about inviting Admiral Conan. There's nothing wrong with that. No one has proven Gregory guilty of not doing the right thing as Inspector General of Police and that's stopping from carrying on his functions as Inspector General of Liberia National Police. So the police, the authority headed by Gregory Coleman, have
So
the
you
right
see,
to
it's not an
invite him.
intimidation.
It's not an intimidation. I know that politicians and unnecessary critics will see
Saba,
it as
one
an
minute.
intimidation.
Okay.
One minute,
See
Saba. Saba.
It's not an intimidation. That's a normal routine of the police to invite people that it thinks that it thinks are necessary to be invited.
Okay, so
So it's
just
far
a
from
few
intimidation.
seconds. A few seconds.
Yeah.
I can transition quickly.
Yeah, Saba. So again, we need to remind our families. He said,
Stop
Small-
reminding me. Remind yourself, not me. Don't be reminding me. Remind yourself. No.
I beg you, please protect me. Saba, please. So
Go ahead.
Amarat and Small are on record. When Ziankan was appointed by President Bouaka to head the LDA, Amara appreciated President Bouaka for that appointment, but call on the government not to use that appointment to suppress the investigation. He did say that. Small is on record.
So no.
When
Does that
John
mean
B was dismissed,
the government
when the
undermine or
no,
suppresses?
please. I mean,
No, so you have to
I said something when listen,
One minute.
Chia,
One minute.
hey man, yeah, come on, please. I mean, he's afraid. Please.
Let me speak, and then you.
give me the man. You're making.
When you're speaking, we're all silent and give us things to learn.
Why would you say the man's not making sense, Dave? It's an insult to the man.
Okay, I
No,
apologize.
it's okay, come on. This is how intolerant they are. So we talk to those kinds of people, very intolerant, And I said something here. I said, these guys got short memories. They go
Which
to
guy?
forget.
Which
They
category
have
are you?
memories. And this is where we are. So I'm reminding you that they've also been positive with this entire drug case. They appreciated President Bouaka for some of the promises he made at
Okay.
the LDA. With
Okay,
the police.
You
Thank you, Pascal.
You helping the people.
Thank you. Let that transition.
People who are
So
Yeah.
just give me a few seconds. I just want to make an appeal to President Bouaka.
Oh wow.
The appeal that I want to make to President Bouaka is this: Konokoma is compromised. He has lost the confidence of the people of Liberia, and I think it's time that this guy step aside.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. You made your point, David. You have it. The 30 seconds as well.
You know, Moses is a good
Thank you.
intellectual, but sometimes somebody positions he can take. Sometimes they're not appropriate. How can you say the Gregory Coleman should step aside, should be dismissed by President Bouaka when there hasn't been anything, that would prove, that would justify that dismissal or step aside that you suggested? There hasn't been, because Moses Sandy has that perception about Gregory, so Gregory should step aside or be dismissed by President Bouaka. No, it doesn't make sense. People should not be running around the place asking the president, pressurizing the president to dismiss people because they have the perception that these people should be dismissed. It's unfair.
Okay.
It's absolutely
All right,
unfair.
let me go to
It's
Mr.
absolutely-
David,
So what time right now?
David,
Boarding
okay.
out.
1 minute.
Pascal, one,
David,
John-
can you give Gregory progress report?
Moses said he
So-
wants just to be dismissed, then someone just should be dismissed. That's
Okay.
because that one Moses
All right.
said.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
unfair.
Thank you.
Okay.
Moses.
Yeah, just a few seconds.
So you open the
I want Mr. Yeah.
You open the
David,
line.
let me speak now, David. Let me speak.
Yeah, go ahead, Moses. Go ahead, Moses. My
Okay.
own man from Delaware.
So yeah, so David, what I want you to understand here, in English, there's a word called subjectivity,
Ah,
meaning that the both of us will not see things the same way. I'm seeing this based on how I see it. You have the
okay,
right to see it your way. And
okay.
it's predicated on that. I am saying
And similarly, me too.
it's compromised. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jacob, let's get a 30-second comments quickly, so we can transition.
Let me say that I think most of them make a point too before I come on real point in 15 seconds. Because when you ask to keep a president government, you have to watch the president progress report. So when we ask where's the progress report so far, when it comes to drugs, crime, anything, where's the progress report? So when a president bringing more problem, then support the government, the president needs to be changed. There's no progress report. Drugs, allegation, a policeman now become a politician, you not cannot be serving the interest of the mass of our people. So I want to say he's right. I think President Boaga needs to do the right thing. He needs to find people with competence. This issue been saying a long time ago. Instead of saying it, we need to find people with competence. There's a reason why we also ask police director now to have not just police and criminal background, but also have some legal background in the police. How to see how can we reform these positions too? That people will not just say things that they want to, that people also be able to say things with justified reason. Yes, he needs to be changed because there is no progress report. If we need his pluses, it's less. If minuses are more.
Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. All of you, I think, weigh in on the issues between the exchanges between Senator Amara Kone and Police Inspector General Greg Cuomo, and also the latest, the breaking news concerning the invite to the senator. We also spoke about that, and you all weigh on that. Let's try now, gentlemen. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. If you are watching the show, kindly share the live video. Share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Just tap Nighttime Heat on your Facebook page or your YouTube channel, and then go watch the show online. Also, we are streaming live on Prime FM Moravia 105.5. Prime FM Moravia 105.5. We are streaming live on the program. Now, let's talk about what's been trending. And first, let's listen to this video concerning an official of this administration, specifically the managing director of the National Police Authority. There has been some videos linking him to fraudulent activity in the U.S., but there are also supporters of the individual who think that that video doesn't have any sort of substance, and people should stop linking him to any sort of irregularity as claimed by the producer of the video. Now let's listen to that quickly.
What if I told you there's a man running group homes in Minnesota while he's also a high-ranking government official in a country thousands of miles away from here? I've spent a year investigating Minnesota's group home industry with a team of journalists at NPR News and APM Reports. These places are largely funded by Medicaid to provide care and supervision for people with physical disabilities or mental illness. They've been popping up all over the northwest suburbs of Minneapolis in recent years and generating lots of complaints about neglected residents, fights, drug use, and residents going missing.
We went to Brooklyn Park City Council, the police department. There were avenues that we explored with going towards the county licensing organizations or bodies, and essentially at every turn we were basically told there's not really anything that we can do.
And as we were digging into some of the group homes that police and neighbors say are causing the most trouble, we came across Sekou Dukli. Dukli has been involved in at least 24 Minnesota group homes over the past decade. He usually set up the companies that run them, Sometimes he had an ownership stake in the business and owned the group home properties. He sold off much of his portfolio at this point, but up until I called him last week, he was licensed as the assisted living director for 3 Minnesota group homes, the person in charge of day-to-day operations. And yet, since the beginning of 2024, Dukley has had another job.
We have a beautiful country. Let's help rebuild our country.
He's the managing director of the National Port Authority of Liberia, the West African country where he grew up and now lives.
More business is coming back, the economy is growing.
And he's doing it at the same time he's telling Minnesota state government he's the one making sure the vulnerable residents in 3 group homes are getting good care.
With this job, because of the implied on-site presence, you could not have this job and live outside the state, because you would have to be at the facility.
What if you lived outside of the country?
My personal thoughts on this are that if you are not maintaining an on-site presence, you are operating outside the implied rules and responsibilities that you've been granted.
Last year, an employee at one of the group homes Dukley runs found a resident lying unresponsive on the bathroom floor. Stacy Muchko had a serious lung condition and was pronounced dead less than an hour later. The state found the group home neglected her because the group home's employees were supposed to be trained in CPR, but they weren't.
That strikes me as something that I really would have wished to know before I said that they could sign on the death certificate that it was natural causes. I mean, obviously the death was still natural causes, but that sounds like my mother could still be alive right now.
The group home is appealing the maltreatment finding. Since 2022, the state of Minnesota has investigated the deaths of 4 people who lived in group homes connected to Dukley.
Nobody deserves what happened to him, and that I know the state maybe believes that they did the best they could, but I was really surprised that it was as hands-off as it was.
And the health department found a 5th resident died after one of those group homes discharged him improperly.
It's been very traumatic for me, my girls, his sisters, our 2 sisters. He definitely wasn't somebody that was just like to think about as being lost in the system, if you get what I mean. You know what I mean? He's a person, he has a family and people that love him as well.
All told, the state has found 10 cases where residents have been neglected in group homes connected to Dukley.
Okay, so gentlemen, that's an investigation work basically on some activities allegedly involving the director general, the managing director of the National Port Authority. That has been in the news. But let's try to read what we have that has been written about this whole issue of the 36 million that they are making reference to, trying to draw in Sekou Dukley. And let's put this in context. 36 million over 10 years is 3.6 million on average per year to run over a dozen nursing homes care for about 100 people, pay over 100 staff, and pay rent, etc. For sensation purpose, they threw the 36 million to the public without context. Running a dozen nursing homes for over 10 years and reporting 4 deaths is not a failure, especially that none of the deaths has been found to be caused by negligence. No family or the state has filed wrongful deaths. Now, Moses, you are in the US and you've been following this even before it broke up in Liberia.
Yeah.
I want you to give us your understanding. Tell us about what is this all about, and has there any irregularity being reported involving the managing director of the National Port Authority? Let's hear you, Moses. Don't go around the table.
Excellent question. If you listen to the report, and let me help you guys understand, the Minnesota Public Radio is one of the credible, notable media outlets in the Midwest in the United States. Their work is not influenced by political decisions. It's basically on the basis of what? Good journalism. I want you guys to understand that. And someone give me a little bit of time. Let's look at the man we're talking about here. I have never met Mr. Dukley before. I hold nothing personal against Mr. Dukley. But Mr. Dukley and I, we are in almost the same business. I went to graduate school and studied this. The allegations leveled against Sekou Dukley, these are serious allegations. Let me draw the dichotomy between the two. I heard you say nursing home. Group homes are not nursing homes. Nursing homes are homes for the elderly, people who have aged, and they go in there and get care. Group homes are facilities that are built for the care of individuals who have physical disabilities and mental illnesses. Someone could be struggling with what we call schizophrenia. Someone could be struggling with bipolar disorder. Someone could be struggling with schizoaffective disorder, all forms of mental illnesses. These are people who lack the ability to make rational decisions. So in the United States, there's what we call Medicaid. Medicaid is a program established by the federal government to provide care, health care for people who lack the financial means. And that's where Sekou Dukley and the others been tapping into. The federal government provides this money to run facilities to care for people who lack the ability. Like that, you have our people that run Monrovia, all those people who are schizophrenic. We call them crazy people. We don't care for them in the United States. You're not going to see them walking around. We put them in facilities and people care for them. The physically challenged, we care for them in facility. You come around here, you're not going to see nobody walking around naked. So I thought to help you guys understand that. Who pays for that? Medicaid. Dukley, for the last 10 years, owned 24 group homes. And according to him, he received $3.6 million US annually to operate those group homes. So if you do the math, it comes to what? $36 million. But that is what the allegations are. Dukley said there was nothing called malfeasance regarding debts. You listen to the reporter. Someone was discharged from his facility improperly, and that person died. It means the facility is responsible. A patient died in one of the facilities because what? There was nobody trained in helping this person with resuscitation, CPR. And before you run a group home, these are trainings that need to be conducted for your entire staff. And the reporter say, Dukley, one of his facilities, someone died there because of that. It means what? Dukley is responsible for that. The group home is responsible for that. Now let's come to Double Deppy. Double Deppy is Dukley runs. He had 24 group homes. And he listed, he saw some of the group homes, he listed 3 where he said he's currently working as assistant living director. What does that mean? It means that he has direct oversight responsibility for staff and making sure that the people who are in those group homes, their needs are being met. But where is Dukley? Dukley is in Liberia. That is where double dipping comes in. Double dipping says what? When you build Moses Sandy, you build Saba George, you said you spend 1 hour, you said 2 o'clock you were with Saba George, working with Saba George. The same 2 o'clock you were working with Moses Sandy. And you bill Saba George $100. You charge Moses Sandy the same $100. But the records show that you were actually at Mr. Saba George's house. That's what Dukley is doing. Dukley is seen as in the United States working as what? Assistant living director. But he's still working as what? Managing director at the NPA. That's fraud. If Dukley challenges this, let him come to the United States.
Okay, Moses, let's hold here. Let's hold here. You are saying that Dukley has committed fraud.
Absolutely.
But the report that we listened to, Moses, they didn't mention anything of that nature.
And let me add.
One minute. We'll come to you.
And I can answer, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What I can see, I can answer. You listen to the reporter. Yeah, you listen to the reporter. That the facilities operated by Dukley, the conditions in those facilities are what? Shabby, poorly kept. Residents' needs are not being met. That's neglect. Neglect is a crime. When people entrust you with the safety of their family members for care and you fail to provide that care, it's a crime.
Now, let me hold you there. Let me hold you. Now, Dave, what the reporter reported was just giving the listeners, the viewers, an insight or giving them a picture of how the homes look. But the reporter fell short of saying or of mentioning any irregularity, any wrongdoing involving Dukley. You listen, right?
Yes, I listen, and this is the point. This is what I'm taken aback by what Moses is saying. I listened to the reporter Kinley, and he said, for the many years Dukley, has been running that place when the 4th person died. And according to the reporter, that was a good record for his.
No, it's not a reporter who said that. It is Dukley who's saying that. It's not a reporter.
No, but I heard.
Let me correct that.
It's what I read.
Yes,
what I read. Yeah, but
it's what you read.
It's not on.
Yeah.
It's not in
Okay. So Dukley said, he said, what happened? You distracted me, man. What happened? Dukley is saying that, look, according to the report, it said 4 persons died for the many years Dukley operated that place when the 4 person died. And that was a good record, right? And another thing the report said is that no family person or close relative of any of those any of those that died complained that they died of negligence. That was very clear in our report. He died of negligence. So this means that Dukley and his institution, they're not responsible for the death of the people. They didn't die out of negligence of the institution, but die maybe due to complications and other means. And another thing is that the other thing said is that
coming back to you.
The report seemed to be holding Dukley is that, look, the license given him, the license given this institution, that license, it says you who own the company should be in the country and be there physically to operate it, and not outside the country, not outside the United States. So because the license gives him the responsibility, to manage a place physically and not in the first. You should manage the place and not manage the wire outside the United States. You should be in the United States. That's what the license is given. It demands that you should be in the country to remind. That's a report.
But on the contrary, he's not in the country.
On the contrary, he's not in the United States. He's in Liberia, and that's maybe under United States laws. It's a crime.
Okay, let me hold you there. Yeah, Moses, we wanted to come in.
It's a crime.
Before I can go.
Let me provide some clarification. If you listen keenly to the reporter, the reporter made reference to the death of the female that died due to the failure to perform CPR.
Wow.
And the family filed complaint about that. The family of the gentleman who died that was discharged, and he went home. His discharge was illegal. The family also raised concern about that. Ducle knows that. Ducle should not lie to you. Listen to the report again. Listen to the report again. And now let me provide this clarification. Yeah, let me provide this clarification. Owning a group home is quite different from being an assistant living director. You can hire Moses Sandy today. He said, look, Mr. Sandy, I want you to work for me to run my group home. And you make me your assistant living director. You being the owner of that company, you don't necessarily have to be there to provide oversight. But my position as assistant director, I have to be there every day to make sure that the facility is being run properly. Staff is performing, executing tasks, meeting the needs of the patients in keeping with state regulations. Ducle is not doing that. Ducle is listed as what? Assistant living director at 3 group homes. And Ducle is in Liberia. That's a crime.
Moses, let me ask you this question, my brother. Look, it's good that you're in the United States where the news is coming from. Is it something that is in the news in the United States? Is it something that is trending in the Liberian communities and on American news radio stations and newspapers? Is it something trending?
Yeah, of course. It is in the news. It is in the news. It is on television. It is also in the papers. It is on the website. Go to state of Minnesota.
Okay, Moses, let me hold you there.
Check out Ducle. Yeah.
Let me hold you there, Moses, and hear from Mr. Sam Jacob. Mr. Jacob, what's your take regarding this latest development?
Well, firstly, I work in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I have the opportunities to also follow these issues.
Okay.
And let's just get a point here. Our point here is when people are in the circle of corruptions, there's a possibility it be reflected. Nobody here, let me make it clear first, nobody here against Ducle making money in America. But we are saying, if you can set a system to dupe America, there's a possibility you set the system in Liberia to dupe the people. That's a reason why fighting continue from here to Liberia now going to 7,100 just for either West Coast. Free now going to over 10 to 15,000 on container prices. We also own the shipping. We that also own shipping understand is the time Liberia has include different taxes that also increase the bidding process in Liberia from there. That's under the leadership. Because just to be shipping next 2 months, the free have increases and everything have added to the port. So we are trying to say this is, before I go into the issues, this is an example of a sample set that if you can create the system that you live in America and neglect the system and get money from the system, there's a possibility you create another artist system to take money from Liberia and take money from our port and be able to collect money from the system. So that's a fear we have. Because if you can try to America where you can neglect the system, they have a country like Liberia. It means already that port is already in your palm how to take money from that port. And when you check on Facebook, you will see what is David, what is young Marco Davidson, what is young brothers writing against the one Ducle man that the issue have been very dubious at the port. So that's the reason why it's concerning us. So let me go to the issue now. So if you check the case, If you check the case on the 36,000, Ali Moses did all the analysis. But this is issue. How to go depth into the case, not just look at the issue. But first, let me spell the word, the issue of fraud. Yes, I agree. If you read the investigation paper, those who can go through Lexus and another thing, or even go through any when I just a duplicate case research paper, the whole research document will flow up to you. Now, if you go to the research paper, the investigation research paper, I agree. There's some risks here. The analysis says is they are not be convicted for any fraud, which I agree. I support that. But this what investigation came with 3 major points. For the issue of neglect and for the business, it got 3 major points. For the issue of neglect, it's 10 cases neglect under the document. Which 10 cases neglect, meaning where he's supposed to be present or not showing present from the report. America will not just bring a case against you. I work here. I work apparently. I work in this country. America will not bring a case or when the investigation is not too much. Before America comes up with a paper against you, trust me, the investigation has been made. It has been documented. They have gone through evidence. They have seen everything for the reported to investigation journalists before media take it. But that's the point. The 5.5 on the investigation that concerned was money from the golden business appeared to have been used in personal expense under the investigation. That is, when you read the investigation on the former proceeding, it will find that money from the group home business account appeared to have spent personal expense. The investigation also found to have some financial representation of family proceeding. If you check it, true cash out same ways are going over the 300,000 personal account from the group home money to personal account. The second investigation showed that more than 45,000, if you even go to any research, just 45,000 employee taxes. You can play with American taxes. Taxes wasn't turned over to the Minnesota tax, where you have to work and retain your tax. Over 45,000 on that investigation. If you also look at the investigation, one other guy brought his investigation there. They call him Yangdan. Just Google his name was Yangdan. If you check it with the Duque case, you read a report online. He said, the former businessman, you see, he sent more than 300,000 to U.S. Bank. On the scene account belonged to Douglas for this company under the Golden Touch Healthcare and the Barclay Healthcare. He said the money was supposed to be used for different projects, but now they found his money under the Douglas Group Home project.
Mr. Saba.
Yeah, 1 minute, please.
I come in now. So what we're trying to say here is that we're not against anything, but we are trying to say because the concern, the same thing we are talking, the concern for this country. So if America can raise allegations, we say America ain't for anything. America raised allegations on neglect. If America can raise allegations, it means that there's something happening. If you can worth $36 million purchase in America, and America is saying it needs to be investigated, they say you are in government neglecting what you have here, and they also raise the 3 counts that they're rare. I mean, we are saying because people in the system understand, if the people can understand how to make 36 million from America to move for the cover, how about liberal economy? We are afraid. So we are saying if they can provide clarity, it's good. But at this point, it's civil government. It's civil government. The same thing was saying to the past government. We said when America raised more concern, America raised other concern. Let the people come down for investigation. Today, nobody can say that Douglas should come down for investigation.
Okay. Before we come to you, let's go to Mr. Davis quickly, Pastor, to hear from him. His take as well.
Yeah, so I'll be very concerned on this. I think Samuel said it with Moses as well. But basically, I mean, a holding center is where people who are not financially equipped.
But that, I don't think it should be repetitive. That was so repetitive. They're talking, Moses has already explained what a.
Please allow the men to learn.
It's a waste of time.
Allow the men to learn.
Moses
you have your time. I'll come back to you. Let's
Moses already explain what a safe home and what other home is. But then he wants to come say the same thing.
Dave, allow the men to learn. Go ahead, Pastor.
Right. So this is the pickup point for me. I think it is a crime. You can work in extension. He's managing director of the port here in Liberia. He's not in the US. So that alone shows that, I mean, you are against the norms, and it's a fraud, like the Samuel said, and the rest of the panelists and the Moses said. So basically, that's what we can say. It's a crime.
Okay, let me read it. Let me read it. Let's hear it.
But the first thing is that, look, Liberia, we have a problem. We are good at undermining and wishing people evil. That's exactly what we do in this country. No one hasn't asked Dukley to give his side of the story. Every story has two sides. We haven't heard from the United States that a court in the United States has indicted Dukley for committing any crime. And that is obvious. There hasn't been any court in the United States that has indicted Dukley for what we're talking about. There hasn't been any report of that nature. How can somebody claim, how can somebody be asking for Dukley to step aside, President Walker to ask Dukley to step aside or issue the issue? Look, we should stop looking at things from a bird-eye point of view. Dukley is in Liberia here. There's a need that we get his side of the story and not be judgmental on this matter. There hasn't been any court. The Moses in the United States and the other guy who just called, who's also in the United States. They know that there hasn't been any court in that country that indicted Dukley for any wrongdoing. These are allegations we're hearing about. Even those who report in the two, they are not even sure. They know that it's an allegation. Dukley should be given a due process. Dukley may likely be asked or given a deeper if what we hear is something to go by.
Okay, so finally, before we transition on this, and let me begin with you, David, since you just ended.
Yeah,
the report has been out for a couple of days now, but 48 hours and 2 hours ago, and there are some who think that this has put has created some troubling situation for the Liberian government because Dukley works for the government. With this sort of report, there are some critics who think that the president needs to take an action. I don't tell Dukley to step down and go to clear his name in the U.S. than to still be in the government when this sort of report of irregularity hangs over the image of the government, especially a government that came to power with a very strong commitment for transparency, accountability. Do you hold that view as well?
Yeah, Sabo, the United States and Liberia, they have a good relationship. If the United States government has a problem with any official of the Liberian government, the United States will officially communicate or formally communicate with the Liberian government that this person, this your citizen in Liberia there, we need him or he's accused of suicide crime, he needs to exonerate himself. The United States government, the authorities in that country will officially write the Liberian government. I haven't heard, so in the media, you haven't heard. When was the last time you heard that the United States government has officially rating the Liberian government complaining Dukley? We have to look at these things. So the fact that something pops up in the news or comes up on social media anywhere, then the government, President Walker, should just get on and say, Dukley, step aside because this is where it's a bit of, I consider that to be gossip or just mere allegation that hasn't been proven. Because had it been the case, the United States government or Washington would have written Monrovia complaining Dukley officially or formally. Then there would have been a need for the president to have taken an action or asked Dukley to step aside because the government of Liberia received an official communication from the United States. But somebody said
there's no need for that.
Somebody said somewhere and said the president should just get up and say Dukley step aside because this is what we're hearing.
There's no need for that.
There's no need for that, quite frankly.
What's your thought on this?
There's no need for that.
Okay, Mr. Tagwe, I beg to differ. And this
it's your right to differ. That's my position.
Let him land, Dave.
Okay, this would be my proposition. If I were Dukley, this has become a serious distraction for me. If I were in his shoe, I would see this current report as a serious distraction. This is what decent people do. You go to the president, say, look, Mr. President, I read about this thing in the media and it has brought my integrity into question. I would like for you to give me time off. 1 or 2 weeks, let me travel to the United States to address this problem. Because what is being reported it doesn't reflect the truth. That's what decent people would do. You don't wait for America to write your Liberian government. No. You muster that courage. Go to the president. So look, this has become your distraction for your administration. Let me fly to the United States and swiftly deal with this problem. I will be back. I can tell you, President Baka will be very gracious and telling Dukle, say, look, I approve your request. Go and deal with this. Don't wait. Look, let me tell you, America is not Liberia. Before they break anything on you, they have done a lot of background. For the fact that Dukle King admitted that he received $36 million for 10 years, that tells you what? This is credible. He admitted that he operated 24 group homes. He sold some. That means that what? The information is credible. He admitted that he's a director at 3 of the group homes. It means the information is credible. Let me stop there. These people will step aside. Thank you.
Let me just come in briefly.
Yes, briefly, please.
Look, can you imagine? And I'm wondering whether it's the same Moses Sandy who's always on the show with us. Is he the same Moses? But Moses was founded that way, that the information is credible, and so that Dukle should step aside on the basis of unfounded allegation. He should step aside, and the president should ask him to step aside, or the president should dismiss Dukle. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? And he said that
he said that there's nothing wrong. I'm sitting right here. You misquoting me. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. You misquoting me. I didn't say that.
Let's be ordered here. Let's be ordered. Go ahead, Tabwe.
Yeah. The point here is that you're asking Dukle to step aside because his name has come in the media on the basis of unfounded allegation. So he should step aside, or President Baka should suspend him or dismiss him. When in fact, the president has not received any official communication from the United States or from Washington complaining Dukle about any wrongdoing. Just what we're hearing is something that we're hearing or following on social media in other maybe. But the fact the president,
but he's saying that Dukle went there and admitted to some of the
even he admitted, right? He admitted. So has the United States government indicted Dukle to the court or complained to the United States, to the Liberian government that Dukle is wanted or has committed this crime in the United States and there's a need to send him back to America? Has the governor of Liberia received such communication? No. So Dukle cannot resign or step aside on the basis of, because Moses Sandy and others want him to step aside and President Baka.
Okay.
The presidents don't write like that.
Okay, let me hold you
They
there.
don't take decisions.
Mr. Jacob, let's get your take. You see, what should be happening by now? Should Dukle be asking the president to step aside and allow him to go to the U.S. to clear his name, or should he allow Sleeping Dog to lie? Mr. Jacob?
Yeah, I think making the thing very clear. Maybe some things our brother understanding here, right? We are not just saying Dukle should just step aside. We are saying that the past government, if you can remember, everything happened in this government, we usually say, why the president can change? Why the president can drop? Now, if we say this is different, it's hypocritical. We are saying very simple. Dear Mr. President, I'm trying to ask for a leave. There are allegations against me that I took 36 million. It's alarming. For this reason,
because you, Mr. Lawyer, wants
one minute. Let the man land. 1 minute, please.
It got nothing to do with me. I'm saying you said this is a responsible government. We said this is a government that people should be corrupt free. We said this is a government that people should not have sting on their hand. We know it too much, we don't want to go in that because they're not in a political government though. We said there's a government that people should come with clean hands. And we are saying we are afraid. We who have businesses for shipping, we are afraid. Now we understand why the shipping tax in the FVMP, we see now why the reason everything increasing. We see why the taxes are increasing. We see why the CTA paper is increasing. Because people who used to 36 million transfer will also be used to our small money get a ship. So we are afraid. So we are saying Since the issue is up, this allegation is up, ask the president for a leave. That responsible government. I hear that into an allegation. I have not committed a fraud. Let me go in America. Let me settle issues. Let me come back. Let the government know I clean. But you say, be eating like when people money stay on salary. Be eating the USA neglect money stay on salary.
Can you imagine? Hearing him, how you sounding?
Oh, how sounding?
Listen, doesn't make sense.
Let's roll him.
It doesn't make sense.
No, 1 minute. Dave, 1 minute. Dave, 1 minute.
Is this?
We are saying,
Dave, let the man learn.
Also taking money from Minnesota with neglect, then the MPA money. You hear the brother talking about we cannot be taking money from here, be taking money from there. Resign. You don't have to resign. You can have a little bit of leave. And pause that salary. What? Because you still own American salary. Don't forget. They said the transfer stay in personal names. Just Google the reports. So send the money, stay your name, take the one and handle it. And then you can go back and settle your issue.
You know, somebody there's a statue. Okay. Somebody there's a statue.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jacob. Let's hear you on this, Mr. Davis, because we're shutting open lines for our listeners to also call in.
Yeah.
The lines are
so sober. It is only in the US where these things will happen. Like Sandy said, decent people will kill themselves, will recuse themselves. Decent people will view themselves. In a society where dignity is the order of the day, where morality must come in, then people like Dukley will have to step aside. I mean, Sandy didn't say he should be dismissed. He didn't say that. Samuel Jacob is also saying President Bogga should not dismiss him. We asking him Dukley because his action brought the government down. It pinned the government down.
Action on his alleged action. No, let me get it clear. They say his action on his alleged action. Somebody just
1 minute, Dave. 1 minute. Let the man land, Dave, and then you can come in the country.
I have a problem with this guy.
Go ahead, Mr. Davis.
To save the face of the government and save the face of the country, just go to the US. Sandy said it is established that he received 36 million. It is established that he operates 3 of the home centers in America. It is also established that over 4 persons died. US government will not rate you. The US people will not rate you. The government will not rate you. Why, if it is a private institution, you expect the government of US to rate President Bogga and say, your official is here, he have done this? Absolutely not. So we are saying
this is the sense. This is the sense here.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
To be fair, Dukley doesn't know me from anywhere. I'm not even saying it except by seeing him on social media. I don't know why. Anywhere. People's repetition are their wealth. People's repetition are their wealth. People should not just be talking loosely, wrongly accusing people when they don't have any proof. I'm saying that there's been no time. Look at the other one they've said that Dukley went to the United States, admitted that he received so money, he did so thing. But the United States, he committed a crime, he made a confession there.
Sabo?
So are you there? I think they're having problem in the studio.
Well, he allegedly committed a crime according to your lawyer and Moses, and he came back freely to Liberia without anybody asking him questions, and he hasn't been indicted.
Thank you, Dave. We have to open the last.
The argument is baseless.
Yes, so just a few seconds. Look, Mr. Tagler, you are an editor.
No, that
listen, let me speak. Listen, I'm only trying to help you understand 2 things here I want you to learn today. You have to learn to take time when people are talking.
No,
You
go
can
ahead,
be
Moses.
disrespecting
No,
your
that one,
body.
no, that one by your regular.
Yeah.
No, that one by your right. I'm getting a feedback.
Nobody yet said.
Yeah, Moses,
Nobody
I
yet
apologize
said.
for that one. We're right on that one.
Mr. Tagbe. Nobody yet said that Sekou Dukle came to the United States and admitted to a crime. You heard Sober George reading a statement from Sekou Dukle. In that statement, Sekou Dukle admitted to receiving $36 million for 10 years. In the report, we made reference to facts. That's what we're talking about. And I said, and we are listening to you, these same people will say, look, this has to do with our integrity, our reputation. They will step aside.
Let me ask you a question before someone opens the line. Let me ask you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's 10 years. If somebody generates 36 million in 10 years, Sekou Dukle as a professional, you don't believe it that he can raise 36 million in 10 years as a professional as he is? Don't you believe that? Is that why you're questioning? Is that why you're questioning?
Mr. Bagwell, your question is completely off tangent.
Okay, sir.
Nobody here is raising concern about that. I'm simply saying to you that Mr. Dukle admitted to receiving $36 million.
So, gentlemen, shortly we'll open the line.
This
is a statement from a supporter of Mr. Dukle. 36 million over 10 years is 3.6 million on average per year to run over a dozen nursing homes, care for about 100 people, pay over 100 staff, and pay rent, etc. For sensation purpose, they threw 36 million to the public without context. Running a dozen nursing homes for over 10 years and reporting 4 deaths is not a failure, especially that none of the deaths has been found to be caused by negligence. No family or the state has filed for wrongful death.
I said that.
You or your business cannot cause someone's death in America and go trying to get a statement again and go free.
And so that's what I said.
Families sue and make millions and stay shut you down. None of these happen. None of those happen. So what is the issue? Maltreatment, even shutting a clown or preventing a clown from getting out in the night can qualify as maltreatment. Assault, rape, molestation are the kind of crime at nursing homes people hear and be like, whoo, not undefined maltreatment. The report says neither Sekou nor his business have been accused of anything. If the investigation had found fraud and something very material, they will not be lifting 4 deaths in 10 years. Maltreatment or 36 million over 10 years, they will be lifting the fraud, etc. That's it. Before Mr. Jacob, Moses coming. Quickly, I can open the line.
All the guys are slanting on one side. All of them are slanting on one side.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see Moses.
A quick clarification. The person who tried to do this rebuttal for Dukle did not help him. He does not know the difference between a nursing home and a group home. A nursing home is for the elderly. What Dukle operates in Minnesota is not a nursing home. He runs a group home, a facility. Then number two, yes. Number two, when you listen to the report, the journalist said 10 deaths within that period. neglect, abuse. Somebody died because what? They failed to provide what?
Did the report say that? Did the report say that?
The report, oh man,
That's a question.
All right, thank you.
Let's go to Mr. Jacob quickly.
Yeah, what we're trying to say, I think the president of Senate, as he says, is not doing justice. The issue is clear. This is our point. And we say we're just concerned. And believe this, nothing will go on American radio without a concern. They are saying 10 cases from the report on neglect. 3 things. The second thing, they are saying 45,000 for employee taxes. The third thing, they are saying about 300,000 going to personal loan, where the director is also a MPA director to another country, receiving director benefit from here. That is neglect. So, for example, if you're managing Prime and then leave it, so the whole Prime will catch a fire before you know that something happening. If Prime is paying you and you leave the station and go sit down in Dakar, that is not neglect because journalists are not fighting themselves, so you're not calling neglect. So if the man taking pay from here and go sit different place, they will say we shouldn't call it neglect. And 10 cases left.
Okay. I mean, if you listen to this guy, we're talking, is he the counselor, right? What's the name?
Yeah, Jacob.
This guy, all his views are impregnated with sentiments, malice against Dukley. Wanting to see Dukley fall.
You can say yeah and let David Tagbe be putting our colleagues down, man. That absolute disrespect.
Because he says so with no logic. So he just won't say you down because he not get worse to say.
So let me just end on that, please. And I think we will have to recommend to you very strongly. We need to learn to be tolerant here. We got words to use.
But I think he lack of words though. So we can open the line for view.
That's
not
fair.
I always complain on that. Okay, so let's start from the end. I heard from one of your panelists saying that like drunk people are lose trust in the police director. No, in America, we lose trust. We trust our government. Seriously. So you should not be repeating that voice from only here alone. Now get to the topic Amara Connect voice is not voice set to follow to take it serious. As your panelist, let me tell you something. Those guys take that CDC jacket on them with the CDC helmet. Let them put it down and be like Sobo and David Tagbe and discuss critical issue about our country.
Okay.
Let me say this to you.
Thank you. We made a point. We have to do a sharp here quickly. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Moses Wama calling from Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, on the drug issue, you see, Alban Connor is a senator. And the guys are saying things in the United States. I don't think we get out to do this. At the evidence that the United States government will not ask for evidence. It's obvious that Alban Connor is not speaking for us, we the citizens. We have the thing is not speaking for us because if he's speaking for us, we have all the evidence. I think it's just the U.S. FBI is here. If you don't tell the LeBron together, you get a U.S. FBI, get a Homeland together here. You can present it to them. But you want the other time you were on Facebook with the Deputy Minister of Information, throw wall to wall, you want to more Ali. So who is speaking for now? I'm a question out the panelists, those are for the American that are saying that this. If you in America and someone makes a car there, or there's a foreign there, then you couldn't say the U.S. government that you have entered there. Why you can't present the U.S. government will continue?
Okay, you made your point. Let's take another call on the line. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Saba.
Yes, sir.
Let me say good evening to your co-host. My name is Gabriel Man in the court of Carwell.
Okay.
Saba man, talking point go to your first topic, your first talking point with Amara and the RG. Look, Saba, in this country, we need to be serious like this. Amara is not ordinary street attack seller. Amara, your government will send it to me to an apparat.
Hello?
So, Amara is in the first branch.
Hello? Okay, he's off. Let's get another call on the line. Let's hear you. Let's hear your name.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. George, and let me say good evening to your entire panelists. My name is Aliyu Padikomai, man picking family, and I also want to commend you for bringing one of us in studio to be paneling on your show to be pursuing my brother Pascal.
Okay,
So,
go ahead quickly.
Let me say this. You see, when I listen to Senator Amara Kone, I always say, Mr. George, when it comes to the issue of the George Benet, everyone is suffering up. If you don't know religion, no any party. But I hear somebody saying, Konokomo says something about the media, he accuses the media that someone is taking bribe. So why now I'm amen? You say somebody do wrong. Now you think you're going to do the thing wrong. So because Konokomo alleged in the media, they are very compromised. So are you telling me I'm going to do the jail and say the higher or in the police to have been compromised when kind of issue the job? Only I'm going to evidence. Oh, let Greg come up be unfair. Then before I'm going to be so how I want to run the country. And when you look at the government sector of the country, I'm going to more see like Greg come up. So here now when you speaking to for the people of Bapolu, when coming to the media to really like people, you must come with for that. So that
Okay, you made a point. Let's get another call on the line quickly. We'll take on the 3 more calls and we'll wrap it up. Let's hear you. Hello?
Yeah, so
Yes, let's hear you quickly.
yeah, so as I was saying, I said Amara is not Amara from
Well, you spoke earlier. Let somebody else speak here. You spoke earlier. Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a second, and I follow your discourse from the GMB and JGA, Green for Better Liberia Foundation, along the UP Intellectual Bureau headquarters in Toronto, America. So, I think Amara Kone issue, I think is going to a very legal standpoint because we expect Amara Kone as committee member on defense and security to be fully abreast with the unfolding in this country when it comes to our security matter. The drug case, it is not a case that it should be used as politics.
Mm-hmm.
We expect Amara Kone to brief any of the security apparatus if he is fully abreast with any information that will save this country. But to always, use insightful statement on a page that the government is having big fish, I think he need to help us because I can recall in 2019, there was a DA officer that was invited at the Capability. Those lawmakers stood up in front of that DA officer and the DA officer PBO. Sorry to say, but it shouldn't be this way. Always leaders using the media to place an issue that will affect this country, I think it's wrong. His action is no different from what they can call it what they should be able to provide evidence.
Okay, you made your point. Let's take another caller. We'll take on 2 more calls quickly. Let's hear you.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to all of the panel. So, this is Kwewu William Corbin, actually this conversation from the Secretary of the Executive of the Party Intellectual Bureau.
Okay.
So look, when I listen to your panelists, I was just laughing. Look, it sounds laughable to me. That these same people who tell us now that Sekou should refuse himself to go and face injustice in the U.S. because of certain news coming out. But the same people, when yesterday we were saying that certain officials were sanctioned by the CDC administration, but by the U.S. government. If I didn't want to, not even government, they want their entity. It's not even government, but the U.S. government, as they hold him or they accuse one of us there that they are corrupt. And when we were telling people to not to vote for that person, these are the same people who were saying they vote for the man for they got no evidence on him. So it's serious contradiction and hypocritical Liberians are. Look, when something is on your side, it is good, but when it's not on your side, no, it's not correct.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So I think it is very bad for your families. They gotta bring things to the disco, right?
Okay. All right, many thanks. Let's see this call on the line. Let's hear your name.
My name is Olin Cooper and I call from Philadelphia.
Okay, Olin, let's hear you.
Gregory Cuomo cannot, make blanket statement about the media being taken bribe, and at the same time, and did not provide evidence after the media questioned him about doing it, and come back to call Senator Amara Kone to provide evidence. I have called on Senator Amara Kone. Don't give me anything. If he wants it, let him subpoena it through the court. You have a right to remain silent. Just how he remains silent, he had a right to remain silent, and he remains silent. You have a right to. Don't answer him. Don't answer him. You understand? Let him get it the same way you can make blanket statement against the media. You know that cover all of us, including you in the studio. You know everybody and that are in the media. You made a blanket statement and he refused to provide the evidence or arrest somebody or call the names of the media people that receive bribe. You understand? And you call in and Senator Amara Conen to come out and give you evidence. He can't do anything with Senator Amara Conen. And on the second issue, let me talk on the second issue quickly.
Yeah.
I think David Tagba is not doing his colleague justice. He must take his time to listen to them when they are speaking so he can be able to understand what they say and how he can articulate it before he talks. He has no understanding about how nursing home works in this country. He's not taking his time to read a report or listen to the report or understand the report. He just has this sentiment on him. Maybe he might have a soft heart for Julian or an administration and decide to take him. That's a serious allegation. Several ones, they said the report, you know, when investigative journalists in this country start on you. They started the same way with Stanton.
Okay.
When they start on you, it doesn't go down. They will bring up more evidence, more and more. So,
okay. Many thanks. You made a call. You made a point. I don't think we can take additional calls. Let's try to take our parting comment from our panelists so that we can call it a quit. I'm sure tomorrow we'll talk about the issue concerning the FOIA project. The debate it's popping up again. I heard human rights lawyer Tiawan Gonglo this time demanding the source of funding from the government. We're going to talk about that. I'm sure we're going to talk about that tomorrow as well on the program. Who?
Daniel Sano will be here tomorrow.
I thought Daniel Sano said Thursday.
You said Wednesday.
No, it's a Thursday. Daniel Sano say Deputy Minister Daniel Sano will join us on Thursday on the program, and also I'm sure we'll talk about the issue of the University of Liberia. We'll try making some calls today. The president intervened. We don't know what's the status of the intervention, but we heard from the university authorities that the university would have opened yesterday, but that didn't happen. We saw only the university president touring the campus and also responding to students. So we got some videos. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But Dave, let's get to your party comment quickly.
I just listened to the gentleman who called from he called from the States, right? Mm-hmm. Called from the United States. They advising Amara Conen not to show up or pay heed to the citation or sent in, by the police inspector general or the police as a whole. And instead of, preaching peace and stability in the country, they're urging people to be law abiding. He's asking Amara Conen to defy the police authorities. These are people who want tension in this country. The first thing, Amara Conen is well educated and experienced. Amara Conen would not disobey the law or defy the police because somebody's sitting somewhere in analysis saying he shouldn't have. Amara Conen is law abiding. I trust him that he will show up. Because if he doesn't show up, the police has a way of making him to show up. So we don't want this kind of thing to be happening in the country. That's the first thing. The other thing, again, is that people get up one day in the morning and make reckless or baseless allegations to other people. Make judgments on the basis of gossips and mere allegations. Like the case of, the inspector and the managing director of the National Port Authority. These are reports we're hearing.
Okay.
These are reports we're hearing.
Okay,
the man has not been indicted by anybody, any court, anywhere in the world.
All right, you concluded your time. Let's hear you, Moses, quickly.
This is what I would like to say. I want to say a great show, but this is my word of caution to my colleague David Tagba.
May I say a closing? You want to caution me?
No,
close. Moses, close.
My man, you spoke. Allow me, let me speak. And let me say that again. My word of caution to you, Mr. Tagbe, we are all professionals. We come here as professionals. We are not street people. So when you come here, you're talking to your colleagues, you gotta be a professional person. You can't be dismissing them, insulting them, and you think they will just sit by and look at you.
Did I insult anybody here, Princess?
My man, your comments, very aggressive. Somebody's there, all the colleagues are here.
What did I say now?
My man, wait, Mr. Jacob just came. You try to put this man down. When Pascal is speaking, you put him down. When I'm speaking, you try to put me down.
Moses, this is a debate.
My man, listen. My man,
no, Dave. Yeah, the man's parting comment, please. Moses.
This is my parting comment, and Soba, please, I want you to be the moderator. We do not have two moderators here. We have to take time to talk. I know that is something that we should have done behind the scene, but I'm saying it publicly. Talk about you can't do your colleagues like this. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Moses. Thank you very much. Mr. Jacob, Sam Jacob, let's get your parting comment.
Yeah, I think the education was necessary and the information too were good. But I think I would just support what Moses said. I think the issue of personal attacks should be limited, and the issue of ideas and change should be huge. Because when people making statements, we focus on the issues, we focus on the article, then talking about what are you supposed to, what are you supposed to sound, where you coming from, where your background, education from should not be. Everybody who go to certain school, they get certain level of intelligence. So I think we should focus on the issue than basing people's intelligence. And so that's what education want to know. So on the issue, I thought that the same thing happened for the young people. You see somebody saying Amarcon is not serious, but when Amarcon was campaigning last time, he was serious. When Tifa was not good, but now he good. So now when we say things, all the things good can be good at the time. We have to take ourselves on our behavior.
So why you smiling?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jacob. Let's hear you, Mr. Pascal Davis. When you do,
basically there are two times.
Yeah, go ahead, Pascal.
Smile, smile.
Basically, there are two kinds of citizens in Liberia. The ones that are burdened and the ones that are threat to society. So I want to believe these guys see themselves there. They are in that cycle, either a threat or a burden to society. Somebody said Amarcon is more senior than Gregory. Even though both of them may seem in a statement, but the one who is more senior supposed to go to jail. In their thinking, they're making sense. But look, let me leave David with one word. There's something called experience.
David.
I don't know you're a journalist, whether you ever come across that word. Sandy didn't say President Bouaka should dismiss Duke, neither Samuel Jacob. They said for the sake of experience, because your government is intact. All we're asking you to do is to step aside. I mean, again, we will have a full discussion. David is talking, Pastor is here, Samuel is here, and they will have a free ride. Moving forward, you will have us to contend with every day. I'm
going to neutralize you. I'm going to weaken you and neutralize you.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for today's show. This is why we actually encourage the unfiltered views. We're not going to stop people from making their views. They want to think, don't use invectives. Yes, you can, you can push the points, you can argue the points, and of course, the nighttime heat will accommodate you. Thank you very much, gentlemen, all of you, Moses, Jacob, Pascal, David. I know the rest of the panelists will be here tomorrow. Until then, Sabo George is my name. Have a pleasant night.